girl, I know you think it's a game, but it is absolutely not, okay? This is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right. It's damn near all gone, girl. And that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it, okay? And I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shake. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here, okay? You put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up, and honey, okay, your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst to get that multivitamin probably, because we all need a little extra. And child, if you want that sea moss that go down smooth, don't come up rough, okay? Get into the TLC Nautica sea moss. Yes, get that from me. And child, if your stomach hurt and you need to move some things around so you can be free, okay, go ahead and get that ISOT down below in the description box. Get it all from me. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird, whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Hey everybody, what's going on? Happy Friday, everybody. Listen. We're back for another Now That We Are Grown. That's right. You're getting 2 in 1 week now that we're grown, okay? Listen, I watched Baby Boy twice this week so that I could come to y'all with the bullshit. And when I tell y'all, I mean, I feel like you can't turn down a street in Baby Boy without an issue popping up, without something problematic taking place. Okay? Hey y'all, hey Yanni, what's going on? Hold on, let me say, I'm so stupid. I thought that Now That We're Grown was a BET show. I've been ignoring these vids, play myself. That's funny. Y'all gotta look at the, you know what I'm saying? You gotta look at the thumbnails, man. I that's why I put these up here so that y'all can see these thumbnails. Okay. No, I have not done Players Club yet, but it's definitely on my list. There's like a long ass list on my forum. But anyway, so happy to see everybody. Just giving y'all a chance to, come into the room. Hi, everybody. What's going on? Okay, girl, we're about to get into Baby Boy Now That We're Grown. Girl, so many things. Okay, so before we get into this, there's a new show that I'm about to start reviewing. So I want you guys to maybe catch it. Episodes 1 and 2 have already aired on BET. Tammy's new show, House of Vicious. It's giving black soap opera, but like Bold and the Beautiful. It's giving me black Bold and the Beautiful. If you think about the fact that the Bold and the Beautiful was supposed to be about families that own fashion houses and all of the, cheating and scallywagging and skippering and slutting out that was going on the Bold and the Beautiful girl. But with Tammy and black people and stuff like that. So episode 1 had me like, girl, wait a minute, what's going on here? What's happening here, girl? I don't know. Wait a minute, I'm shocked. Okay, y'all, they got little lesbian things going on, and y'all know how a bitch be about these little lesbian things. Like, oh my god, you guys are doing lesbian things on BET. Oh my god, Tammy, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's come so far. So yeah, and then episode 2 came on last night, and I was watching it before I came up here, and it was good. I haven't finished it, so I have to go back down and finish it. But y'all should check that out on BET so that when I talk about it, y'all know. Okay. All right. So now that I've said that, I'm going to get into this. So y'all, John Singleton, I don't know if you know, one of my favorite directors of all time. I actually had the blessing of speaking to him over the phone before he passed away because he had a show on BET that I really loved and I reviewed. And it only had one season. Hated it because it was such a good show. But ultimately, it still, got me the chance to be seen and known by John Singleton, somebody whose movies I grew up loving. And you know what I'm saying? Like I've grown up just watching his movies, all of them. Okay. So yeah, y'all, I was like really excited about that. So now to like sit back and look at this movie, child, extremely problematic. Extremely problematic. And a part of me is wondering if Baby Boy was like giving everybody a break from Boys in the Hood. You know what I'm saying? It was giving you street drama, but it was also giving you happy ending. If you think that that was a happy ending, if you think that that was a happy ending. Okay. All right. So let's just go ahead and get into Baby Boy. All right. So Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, okay, an actual psychologist who passed away, I believe, in 2016, 16, had written a theory about the Black man in America being a not yet fully formed being. Okay. And this is what it says online. Racism causes Black men to be an unformed person, infantilized, immature, and incapable of realizing his greatest potential. And then we go on to give you examples. But more specifically, the movie goes on to give you an example. Okay. Now, this movie is 20 years old at this point. And the funny part about it is, I feel like where Baby Boy may have touched on like a percentage of Black men, I feel like now it's like most Black men in one way or another. In one way or another, everybody in some way is acting out the things that are seen in this movie, which is crazy because you would think that people's lives wouldn't really be like this all the time back then. Now I feel like Baby Boy is the norm. Whereas back then it was kind of like, oh wow, we're actually doing a movie about this. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's more of the norm now than it was then. So to look back, I wonder sometimes, is life imitating art or is art imitating life? You know what I'm saying? So moving forward, you guys, here's your example. Joseph Summers, okay? He was supposed to be played by Tupac, but y'all know what happened, okay? So Tyrese, okay? He's 20 years old, and we start the movie with him picking his girlfriend up from the clinic. She just got a whatchamacallit, and it was obvious that she was not happy about it. She kept pushing him away. Get off me, Jody. He ushers her into the car, her car, holding a box of lemon heads. Now, as someone who loves a good lemon head, I was like, why are you eating candy right now? Like, how childish is that? He's standing outside, blissfully ignorant, eating his lemon heads while this girl comes out of the clinic after, basically a soul has been snatched from her body. Like, it's it's perplexing, to say the least, almost as if he did not understand the severity of the situation. But then when she comes out and she can barely walk and she looks distraught, and now he's showing all of this care, but the care doesn't seem genuine to me. It's very performative. Okay, so Yvette lays in the bed with her thumb in her mouth, much a childlike thing for adult women to do. I don't care what y'all are talking about. I mean, do what you need to do to lull and calm your insides, girl. But whenever I see a grown adult woman sucking her thumb, I just be like, anyway, Jody asks if daddy can do anything for her. He just wants to take care of her. And she says, it seemed like you already did that. He says, all right, well, can I take your car since I guess you about to go to sleep? First of all, calling yourself daddy after making me have a whatchamacallit. That's problematic right there. Let's start right there. After that, you ignore that she is distraught and decide to not only go and get fucked by your other baby mama, excuse my French, but also to take her car to get there. So he takes her car over to his younger baby mama's house, Peanut. Okay. Peanut lives in a nice house with her mom, and he burst into the bathroom while she's in the shower, scaring the hell out of her. And I was like, what is wrong with him? This is how you know he wasn't raised with boundaries. His mother did not put forth boundaries, because if she did, he would not feel like he can just bust into the bathroom on people like he does. Okay? He tells her he hungry. Fix the nigga something to eat. She looked happy. She jumps out the shower, I'm guessing, fixes him something to eat, and then proceeds to roll a joint. And then her mom rolls into the driveway. And so they put the weed up, and he goes out there to fetch the daughter. And the mama got a stank look on her face the whole time because she can't believe her daughter got pregnant for this bum ass. So he plays with the baby, y'all. That's my baby. If there's anything I know how to do is make some pretty babies. Just saying ignorant shit that y'all glaze over. That's why I tell y'all all the time, you got to pay attention to the things that come out of people's mouth, because it says a lot about the way they think. We ain't seen Peanut baby no more after this, okay? Except for when Peanut came pick the baby up from his mama house and Yvette was holding the baby. We'll get to that. But just a reminder, we ain't never seen that baby really again like that. Yeah, he went and brought her some clothes. He thought about her. But because he wasn't with Peanut, her child did not get the same amount of effort that JoJo does. Anyway, Peanut mama don't like him, and she shouldn't. So like I said, he plays with the baby, rocks her to sleep, and then goes into the room with Peanut to smoke the joint she rolled, and they turn up the music, and he says, go ahead and pull a damage out. Like, the audaciousness of you to literally be driving around in one woman's car all day, no job, doing nothing, while one is laying at home with her womb sore, to go over and wear this one's womb out with her baby in the front with the mama, acting like you did something as a daddy because you rocked the baby to sleep for 10 minutes. Oh, Lord, so problematic. It's my baby mama, you know, child support. She get welfare checks, but I stay in court. It's my baby mama, you know, have it. And she always looking for sugar daddies. Okay, I'm sorry. That's my song. Anyway, so after that, he goes home. And his mama, Nita, for Juanita, okay, Miss Juanita, is planting a garden with her new man, Melvin. Child, Melvin is something to be seen. Child, Melvin is a old hood bitch's dream. Okay? Do you hear me? He's done time, but he got out. He turned his life around. He owns his own business. He's big. He's fine. He knows how to do something called the jigger squat. Okay? He's not asking you for money. When he take you out, he gonna pay for everything. He smell good. Okay, my nigga wears Stacey Adams. Let him know it's real, OG style. Okay? So many wonderful things for a good hood bitch. Okay? When you look at Melvin, you know what I'm saying? Cherry on the top, he's done time. That's a cherry on the top. I'm gonna tell you why. Because for a lot of women who love a rugged or a hood man, because they like the aggression and they like, you know, they like for a man to be kind of crazy after them. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like somebody really is into you and really wants you. But it's a fine line between somebody having passion for you and somebody being crazy. Somebody being someone that you should be scared of. Okay? And Melvin is teetering on the line of that, especially for Jody, because Jody sees him and look like he smells shit. Okay? he tells his I'm sorry, no, that's just what it is. So later he tells his homeboy Sweet Pea he knows Melvin will want to move him out so he can move in and start going upside his mama's head. Apparently, Jody has been traumatized by his mom picking killers for boyfriends in the past. Like, excuse the fuck out of Jody for being a little scared after Henry, okay? So Yvette talks to her homegirl, Sharika, about her latest whatchamacallit. And she tells her that she needs to leave him. They forever up at the clinic, and he can't, what she said, he can't be feeling like he owned you. And Yvette says, listen, at least he ain't never put his hands on me. Okay, that nigga ain't crazy. Bitch, please. And how many times has Chris gone upside your head and put his foot in your ass? Okay, girl, how your eye feel? And we switched camera shots to seeing Sharika and her old man in the background. And she was like, it's all right. It's all right. Nasty black eye. Talking about it's all right. Talking about at least we live together. Jody just want to string you along at his convenience. He probably with his other baby mama when he ain't with you. You need to check him. Yvette like, please believe he don't love that hoe. Okay, but at the end of the day, he absolutely took your car and went to fuck Peanut while you were in the bed crying. Okay? It's not cool. It's not okay. It's not right, and it's not okay. Okay? She asked, what did Jody say about them getting a place together? And she says, my baby a mama's boy. He ain't never gonna leave his mama. Girl, what are we fucking talking about? This is the most ignorant conversation. Y'all, first of all, Sharika and Chris. Chris is beating Sharika. And they're talking about it like it's fine. How many times how many years you been with Chris? 3 years? And how many times he gonna, went upside your head and put his foot in your ass? And you sitting there with a black eye talking about it's all right because he lived with me. Girl, is it really that great for the nigga that beats you up to be in close proximity to you? Because in all honesty, it would be best for Chris not to live with you. Maybe you wouldn't have black eyes. I don't know. But to normalize such behavior is just, I cannot. I mean, it is to some degree. Don't get me wrong. I've seen relationships like that before Baby Boy came out. But god damn. If it ain't giving, Blueface and Krishan, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to compare. This is the shit that we should be comparing it to. Okay? I love that Sharika said, then tell him fuck his mama then. Have her ass all up at the free clinic. Shit. Also, did y'all notice how Yvette and Sharika, even though they may be friends, there was a competition on whose nigga was the least fucked up. Like, which one of our niggas is the least fucked up? Let's go. All right. My nigga beats me. My nigga doesn't. My nigga cheats on me. My nigga come home every night. Like, girl, all of it's bad. All of it's bad. Right. And the way Yvette threw that shit in her face talking about, girl, how your eye feel. Bitch, we can't be friends after you ask me how my eye feel. Like, it's cool. I mean, but Sharika obviously don't give a fuck talking about it's all right. It don't look all right. It look bad. Child, Jody is at home angrily building toy cars. Did y'all see that? With the mural of Tupac on the background? Like, I don't know if I noticed how angry he looked. Feel me? God said he should lead his one begotten son to lead the wise into the ways of the man. Follow me. Be my flesh, flesh of my flesh. Come with me. Hail Mary, nigga, one quick seed. What do we have here now? Do you want to ride or die? La, 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 la. Child, don't get me wrong. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy. Next to get, all right, I'm gonna let it go. Okay, I'm gonna let it go right there. But either way, Jody at home, angrily building toy cars. When he goes to sleep, we see him dreaming of being in jail. Then we see him having sex with Peanut and Yvette, telling them both that he wanted them to have his baby. Them both saying that they love him, but they're scared that he's gonna die. Almost as if he's speaking death onto his life. That's what I noticed the entire movie that I don't know if we ever noticed or really called out before. The calling of these things into your life. And this is when you realize that as much as you want to have sympathy for black men that get caught up in traps and shit, like the, like the gang mentality and all of this getting in and out of jail, career criminal bullshit that they get into, and we all like want to feel sorry for them, product of your environment and shit like that. But at some point, I feel like they make the decision that this is the only life I can have. And once they make that decision, every decision that they make, therefore, is going to put them, in the places, dead or in jail. Okay? Like, that's just usually how these things take place. And I'm realizing now how many black men speak all of their limitations onto themselves. They may have limitations, but there's always a way around those limitations. But if you're not really being taught that just because something doesn't work out one time, you shouldn't quit, then every time you don't get your way, you give up. You know what I'm saying? And now you have the idea that, oh, bad things always happen to me. It never works out for me. When you say those types of things, you make them true. So for me, when I'm watching this movie, it now makes me realize how a lot of young black people that get caught up in bullshit are making a decision that that's the only life they can have. It may not be their fault why they feel that way, but it's a decision that they make ultimately. Anyway, so like I said, we see him dying, Yvette screaming over his body, his mama crying, oh, my baby, and then he wakes up. When Yvette calls looking for her car because she has to go to work, he like, it's Monday, what that mean? Get the fuck up and bring that girl her car. When he drops her off, she has to ask him to please be on time with her fucking car. And then proceeds to make out with him real nasty in the parking lot as she leaves him with her vehicle and the baby. And then all of her coworkers are like, yes. And it's like, yeah, everybody's cheering you on to be with a bum ass nigga that's dropping you off as he takes your car to go and fuck other girls today. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. And one of the employees, one of the co-workers gave, a little stank look or whatever. And Jody seemed to like what he was looking at, but he hurried up and corrected before Yvette saw. We're going to have to talk about Miss Pandora eventually, child. Because they tried to play Miss Pandora like she was some type of temptress or, some slut that came in, kind of like a Garden of Eden type of situation with Pandora. When at the end of the day, the nigga didn't need no temptation. He was already out here fucking everybody. What is you talking about? Anyway, Jody bust into the bathroom on his mom while she's getting dressed for her date with Melvin. Remember I told y'all no boundaries? Okay. She's getting dressed in her green all-purpose style dress. Come on, mama. He asked where they're going. She's like, I don't know. He liked music. We probably gonna go listen to some music. And he starts asking her questions. What you know about this man besides the fact that he's smiling in your face? Is he a killer like Henry? And she's like ignoring him, drying her nails and doing all of this shit, which at first I used to feel like he was being a whiny ass nigga and he needed to go and do like go home to Yvette or something, asking your mama where she going and what she doing, like, you 13 years old or some shit. But really, the more I watched, the more I realized how Juanita ignored and just basically acted like whatever happened with Henry didn't happen. And Jody is not over it. Jody is not over whatever happened with Henry. He's not over it at all. Okay. Especially because when he goes out into the living room to talk to Melvin picks up a picture and he said, that's my brother. Yeah, he got killed when my mama put him out over her last boyfriend. So he feels like and equates him leaving the nest, him getting out of the house as death in some respects, which is crazy as hell. That's crazy as hell, y'all. Okay. I also feel like Juanita made her children responsible for her. It sounds like whenever Henry did whatever he did, she calls her sons to come and help her, but ignores them when they say something ain't right about the nigga. So then you make them responsible and bring them into your bad decision making. And then once they're traumatized thereafter, Now you ignoring him as he pleads with you to not be with another man that he's going to have to come in here and fight on your behalf. It's crazy. Yeah. He lacks the emotional intelligence because so does she. Because she ain't nothing but a 30-something-year-old mama. You know what I'm saying? 30-something-year-old grandmother. So Jody joking about, chaperoning you old folks and mama get me a cheeseburger, just all pathetic. Like, I don't even know like why you thought that looked cool. Like, you don't even see how dumb you look running behind your mama while she go on a date with this nigga twice your size. Like, stop it. You don't pay any, like, stop acting like you're an adult in this situation. You're not an adult in this situation. I feel like both Melvin and Juanita would just look at Jody and shake their head when really they should have forced the confrontation from jump. Like, she should have been told him to get the fuck out of her house. It shouldn't have been no, when you gonna leave? No, don't ask. Get the fuck out. Get out. I don't care. Get out. I don't want you here no more. Get out. She did. I'm gonna tell you what she did. Go in the house. Too funny. What she did though was she made him so uncomfortable that he had no choice but to find a way to get the fuck out her house. Okay. Jody and Sweet Pea meet down at the swap meet, and Jody says, "Today I begin a new life, for I am the master of my abilities, and today is going to be a great and beautiful day." Jody tells Pete, everybody moving, making money while they standing still being broke. He figured something out. All this shit in the world moves through commerce. Okay? Commerce, nigga. Transactions. Okay? He says he's going to be a seller and change the game. All right? So now he's going to start selling something. So here's the thing about that. This is the part where Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, the part of what she says about not realizing their fullest potential. Because the niggas will have potential. This is perfect for Jody. But where did the speech come from? Where did the speech come from? And where did that language come from? I'm a master of my abilities. What book were you reading? Like, where did you get that shit from? Did you get that from one of your mom's books? Sitting in the bathroom reading one of her books that she done left in there? I don't know, okay? But what it makes me think of is that there's always something fantastical or unrealistic about these movies. And that's what we've noticed, right? As we've been watching them, we've noticed that as much as they are extremely realistic, they can be very idealistic with the way they will try to shape a happy ending for you, okay? So Jody deciding now, after not having a job, not doing shit, to now become the master of his abilities out of nowhere. And he's only 20, but it still feels like unrealistic shift. Okay. So he talks to his mom because he wants to be a booster, right? So he talks to his mama and Monique. Child, love Monique during this phase. Ooh, that sounds like sex. Because basically his mother explained that if he wanted to boost clothes, he needs to know the difference between being a salesman and being a shyster. A good salesman will have you coming back to spend more money, whereas a shyster will have you feeling like you got took. She tells him he needs to know the type of dresses that women like to wear, what's in season, what feels good on our skin. You need to know women's sizes, okay? I'm a size 6. That's average. No, I'm a size 16, Jody. Now, you remember that? You'll make a lot more money. Then tells him to make sure to get those, I'm sorry, y'all, my dog is barking. He's just distracting me. Then she tells him to make sure to go and do it on payday. So Jody, having this potential, goes to the hair salon and walks up on the owner of the hair salon all sexy and soft like and says, "Hey, how you doing? My name is Joseph Summers, and I was told you're the owner, and I wanted to come and show some of my merchandise to your clientele, but I didn't want to do so without you blessing me." And all of the women are already looking at him. He's chocolate and he's in great shape. He looks like he got a 6-pack through his clothes. All of the women in there are looking at him like they will take him on a ride. Okay. So you can see the lady looking at it, sitting in the chair. So of course they let him come in and sell some clothes, right? Yeah, I don't know why Jew is barking like that. He never barks like that. Yeah, I'll be right back, okay? Because I don't know why my I don't know why my dog is barking like that. But when I come back, we're gonna get right back into it. Okay, $40. I'll be right back. Sorry, y'all. I don't even know what he's barking at. Anyway, my bad, y'all. Hope y'all liked the video. Okay. $40. Y'all, Jody goes in there and flirts with every single woman in there. Oh, this all purpose style. Oh, I see. Yeah, you gonna like this. You definitely smashing some of those women the way you touching on them women. Y'all, he this nigga, oh, you like that? Yeah. I was like, what is going on? Like, almost like you could have been getting paid for dick too. But he ended up making $400 the first day he did it. Okay. So $40. Squeeze my tiny ass into this upstage. These bitches in here. You like this girl? Cute. Listen, I miss the bloopers. Can I tell y'all? The DVD used to have bloopers, and I miss it so much. Okay? So he starts buying stolen clothes. He's making money. He's putting tint and Dayton's on Yvette's car like it's his. He got her some new clothes. He got Peanut Baby and JoJo some new clothes. He got him some new clothes. We got boo-boo jean sets and shit. Then Jody wakes up at home to Melvin ass naked in the kitchen cooking breakfast. Get the fuck out. You making money. You got your family. Your mama got a man with his dick out in front of the stove. Go home. Okay? Go to Yvette's, nigga. Get out. I don't even understand. So y'all, Melvin also got Juanita a new big screen TV. He got through the barter system. So he tells Jody he got the TV from someone he used to do jobs for, shot, stab, cut up a few folks back when I was young. I was young, dumb, you know what I'm saying? All kind of shit like that. Like you, Jody. I swear old niggas never know how to lead. It's like they can't just talk to you like a normal person. They got to shade you at the same time, okay? Because why you got to call him young and dumb? He is, but now he's not listening to you. He wasn't really listening to you before, but that's not helping. However, Melvin says, he didn't have his dome straight, but then he tells him, me and your mama getting really serious. So if you need any advice, you can come to me because I've done it all and I've seen it all to the fullest, okay? And he tries to dap Jody off, and Jody leaves him hanging and kind of ifs at him like a badass little boy. And honestly, I just kind of felt like this happens a lot. Your mama get a boyfriend, you niggas always feel like your mom is your woman. It's very weird the way that happens, but I feel like that has a lot to do with the way the mother leans and depends on her child when the man is not there. Okay, it's a very unhealthy thing, the way women become absorbed with the men they become in relationships with, because honestly I feel like I low-key experienced that in my own family, where you kind of feel on the outside looking in, depending on what your parents are going through. If they beefed out, then y'all best friends. As soon as they back good, then you're on the outside looking in. And I feel like that's probably in some way what the boys with Jody and his brother were made to feel like, which is why a man coming into the picture means for them, or means for Jody, that he now has to move out. He now has to dismiss himself because she's found a man to replace him. And that has to do with the boundaries. You have got to have better boundaries with your kids. And when I say this shit, and I made that comment about that woman, who did the photo shoot, the Spider-Man photo shoot with her son, and she kisses him on the mouth and reenacts this romantic scene. And it was more so about reenacting a romantic scene, but then also the second photo, the way they were posed together with, back to back, as if I have his back, he has mine. And I'm like, but he can't have your back because he's a child. But to me, people don't think about those things. But to me, body language and the way people show, affection and all of that shit says a lot about what goes on in their mind. And that ideal at a young age, that your child can understand adult things enough to have your back, that is an overstepping of a boundary between children and parents. And parents really don't understand it at the time. I don't think they do. I don't think they know what they're doing. But I think when you look back on it, you can see how as a child you were probably made to be responsible for your mother or your father's feelings in some respect. And then thereafter, that causes issues with your relationships and how you're able to detach from them and have your own shit going on. It becomes harder to do. So in essence, Juanita complains this entire movie about him needing to get out of the house. Yet what were you doing in his formative years in order to create the independence? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to wonder. It can't always be, oh, this is just what happens. No. What were you doing during his formative years that now that he's 20 years old, he is scared to leave your house? Okay. So where was I? Melvin leaves to go to work. As soon as he gets in the car and rides away, Jody screams, "Mama!" We hear him do that several times throughout the movie. It's hilarious. Okay. You got this nigga living in here. You got this nigga living here. He in the kitchen cooking up all the eggs and shit. Fuck. And mama said, I gotta have a life too. What the fuck? You got a life? I gotta enjoy my life. I ain't like Big Mama. I got to have me some fun. Which means my life is not over because your granddaddy did. Or because he left. No, I'm not doing that shit. You got me up, okay? Which everybody should understand at this point. I was just watching Real with Yanni, and she keeps reiterating how what worked for our grandmothers is not working for us, like, or even for our moms. You know what I'm saying? So he says, "So what, Mom? You gonna kick me out, and I'm gonna get killed like when Henry was here?" Like, keep going back to that. And Sweet Pea shows up to the door and he hears him asking if she's going to kick him out. And she says, "Why don't you surprise me and move out?" At least she doesn't have to beg Melvin to go and get a job. She says, why are you so afraid to grow up and be a man? Leave the nest. He says he's proud indignation is so fake. Then that's what I'm talking about when I say the manhood is not real. I am a man. What makes you a man? Every time you're in a situation where a man is supposed to be able to aid, assist, help, provide, protect, every time you're in a situation like that, you yell for your mama. So tell me, what makes you a man? His mama even paid for Yvette's whatchamacallit, and she said, I can't be giving you money every time you get one of these girls pregnant, Jody. So what about you makes you a man besides the fact that you are wielding your penis freely in the wombs of young girls who don't know any better? Okay. Anyway, he then turns it around on her quite disrespectfully and says, why does he have to leave the nest? She ain't never left it. This grandma's house. First of all, grandma is deceased, so she left this house to her. Second of all, it's a different situation at this juncture. Your mother was a single parent of 2 kids that she was responsible for. So she was like, unlike you, think about Yvette, the way you leave Yvette to pay all of the bills at her place and take care of your son primarily financially on her own, and you just drop in and help from time to time. Isn't that what you said you do? So understand how your mother needed to stay with her mother so that she can afford to take care of you and your brother in California. That's why. You, on the other hand, don't have the same financial responsibility because you leave that on Peanut and her mama, and you leave it on Yvette for them to fend for themselves financially. So don't be sitting up here talking about, oh, you ain't never left the nest. Nigga, I'm paying the bills in this house now. What are you doing? It's the point. Okay? How dare he? And she just was quiet and let him get away with that. And that's what I mean. Why would you even let him get away with saying some crazy shit like that? What you talking about, man? What? Like, who the fuck you talking to? It like, I don't know. This is another thing with the coddling, because I have to wonder, did she ever go off on him the way she really should? Because it seemed like she was always trying to be so soft with her words with him until that ending, that end part when she was like, I need you to shut up. That was like the first time she had really like clicked out on him. Every other time she was trying to control herself. So Yvette walks with her son over to Juanita's house looking for Jody because he has her car. Yvette asks Juanita for advice. She loves him, but he got her walking while he's riding around in her car. Juanita is sucking on Melvin's tongue while Yvette is complaining about feeling stupid over Jody. And Juanita tells her that she's not stupid. She's just in love with a man. And this is what annoys me. Because as much as Juanita deserves to be happy and be with a good man and all in love and sucking on lips and shit, something about the way she goes la la land over a man, I find it to be part of the issue here that we're never going to really address. We're never going to address the way she basically falls in love for unstable falls in love with unstable ass niggas and then ultimately loses herself in them in one respect or another. And I feel like it's because she feels like it's the only little piece of happiness that she can really have is being with a man like Melvin and having her little garden. And I don't begrudge her that. I don't. But at the same time, it just kind of made me feel like, bitch, the girl talking to you and you sitting up here sucking on this nigga's lip, like, what is going on? Like, I get it. Girl, I get it. But it felt like it was the projection. It was showing how Juanita will lose herself whenever there's a fine ass man that she wants in front of her, which means you probably didn't pay attention to your boys the way you should have whenever a man came into the picture, i.e. Killer Henry. Okay? Nita tells her that she's not stupid. She's in love. She tells her being used is temporary, but If it feels like she doesn't have anything left to give herself or her baby, then she has to let it go. Then Peanut comes in to retrieve her baby that Yvette at the time was holding. And she hands the baby to Peanut, and the baby bursts into tears. I don't want to go with you, mommy. I want to stay with Yvette. And then as she hands her the bag, she does like this to show the Jody tattooed on her titty. Now, mind you, Jody does have Yvette tattooed over his heart as well. But still, it was such a weird flex. It was such a weird flex. He's still fucking her. You having his name tattooed on you, or her looking at the tattoo while like looking at your name while fucking him, girl, like you're not winning anything. Calm down, Yvette. Calm down. You're not winning anything. Okay. Oh Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, girl, I love the way Peanut had that I don't give a fuck face on. Like, girl, I don't give a fuck fucking that nigga anyway. You can be tatted up all day, bitch. I'm still fucking him. Anyway, so then Melvin beast fuck Juanita. Because we really trying to get Jody out the house, okay? Okay, around circuit, take it, jigger squat. What the fuck is that, okay? Anyway, the next day after they finish fucking up, you know what I'm saying, her house, Jody is complaining about Melvin to Peanut. I mean, to P, not Peanut, to Sweet Pea. And P offers to take him out. And Jody says, nah, let him breathe. You know, as long as my mama happy, he good, you know. And Melvin can hear him. So he was like, I hope he can hear me too, nigga. And Melvin walks in, yeah, I can hear you, little nigga. Okay. Melvin is cutting his bald head with a old school razor. And I didn't see any shaving cream, which means that nigga is crazy. So he walks into the room and he says, you know, the problem with you little young niggas is y'all think y'all know everything. But see, this whole world is built off of two things, guns and butter. Okay. Guns is real estate. Art, shit that appreciates in value. Okay, I will always remember this conversation. But butter is the stupid shit, money, you know, I mean, clothes, jewelry, and all that other shit that don't mean nothing once you buy it. Okay, that's what this whole shit is about. Guns and butter, baby. You know what I'm saying? And he told him something about, you know, his little hustle shit, you know, that's cool and everything. I think he might have said that when he was talking about the TV and the barter system and all of that. But either way, Melvin was forever trying to teach these niggas something. They like threatening to kill him, and Melvin is still in there like trying to teach them a lesson. And then when he walks out, and you know, he was like, "Sit nigga, be in here, fuck, you know, fucking my mom every night, some shit like that, talking that shit every night." And Melvin said, "What?" And they both got quiet, and it was so funny to me because P is a thug. Like P is baby Melvin. That's why they both look alike. Okay. P is baby Melvin out this bitch. But you see, he didn't press him. He didn't press him at all, bro. Okay? Melvin was right. Melvin was always trying to teach these niggas something. I honestly feel like Melvin fucked up things with his own children so badly that he wanted to be able to be something for Jody because Jody never had that. But for me, it just brings to mind how many of you men want to be a father to somebody else's children, but won't put forth half the effort with your own because you don't want to have to deal with the abandonment. And that's the thing that makes me so aggravated. Like everything is not going to be a good experience for you. Sometimes you're going to have to like go through the negative emotions of your kids being angry with you before you can get to them forgiving you, especially when you haven't really been there. So it's really like bothersome to me for men to always, not just men, women too, but for parents, period, to always feel like they don't have to be as sorry as they should be for fucking up their kids. Jody is at home arguing with Yvette. She doesn't have focus. Like he come to her house, the house dirty. She been eating pizza instead of cooking, but she been in the house all weekend while he been driving around in her car. Okay. And she been like, since you've been so busy, let me smell your dick. Her nerves bad. And we like, what the hell's going on? Why are you trying to smell this man dick? Okay. She does. He said it smelled good, huh? And she was like, you probably washed it off. And then she explains that her friend Sharika's old man, Chris, told her that Sweet Pea and Jody was down to the strip club spending money on bitches. Neither one of these niggas got a job. Okay. Jody selling his clothes, so he'll be a little bit more better off. But we gonna later on hear Sweet Pea tell us that he gotta ask his woman and her mama for money. But y'all got time to go to the fucking strip club to drop some lousy ones on some nasty light-skinned yellow who was shaking, yellow heifer who was shaking her ass all in your face. And then you won't go to what she said, and then you won't go and I do I don't know what with her. Oh, you know how I know? Because Sharika's Chris was there. He saw you. You busted. Yeah, but Chris was there too. What the fuck was Chris doing? Okay. And she was like, he tried to lie about it. And he said all he did was get a lap dance. He didn't fuck. But she don't believe him because, he the type. He the type to go and fuck on a girl in a strip club just because he can. Okay. So he tries to get up and leave because she doesn't believe him. But him leaving always means him taking her fucking car keys and leaving her at the house, which is extremely entrapped. Like, I don't even know how she can deal with the fact that every time he leaves her house, he takes her car like it's his, meaning she can't go anywhere or do anything when he leaves. And he can go and do whatever the fuck he wants to do in her car that she pays the note on. That shit makes me so upset. So it's so weird for me to watch them argue, scream back and forth in each other's faces, all up and down the stairs, that they hate each other, that he ain't shit, that she gonna go and do what she wanna do, that she gonna go out because other niggas be asking her to go out, and she don't never do it because she being stupid, sticking to his ass. She gonna call his parole officer, like all of this shit, right? And then they end up fucking. And y'all remember, oh my God, Daddy Dick, and I'm gonna cook the tacos and I'm gonna clean up. And it's so funny to me the way she really did get up and go clean up her own apartment and cook this nigga something to eat and feed him like he had done something besides fuck her. He got a nut too. That was a mutual exchange. He wasn't deserving of anything because he brought your car back, fucked you, and then yelled at you about how dirty your place was. So that you could clean it up, cook him something to eat, so he can then leave and take your car keys again. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when are we gonna start thinking about what we're doing here? Like, he wasn't deserving of you to, like, make him feel like a man. I didn't even like that. You gonna clean up, you gonna cook, nigga. You don't pay bills here. You don't even live here. Why does it matter? Like, take your ass to Lucy's and get a fat strawberry shake and get the fuck out my face. Okay? But she tells him while they're laying in the bed, child, with that, I'm wishing on a star to follow where you are. I'm wishing on a dream so far away from me. And I wish on all the rainbows that I see. And I wish on all the people you ever meet. I ain't gonna lie, that's my shit. I'm wishing on a star. I'm fucking it up. Follow where you are. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. I love that song. But she says that she loves him. She doesn't hate him, but she's scared like they're not gonna be together or something. And that's another thing, y'all. I really need for there to not be such a great fear that you won't be with somebody. And I get it because I know what that feels like, especially when you're young. But the older I get, the more I feel like people should just let go of not their expectations and boundaries, but more so let go of ideals that don't serve them. Meaning that you don't have to be with somebody forever just because you enjoy their dick. You don't have to be with somebody forever just because they your baby daddy. Like, it should be worth it. It should feel good. It shouldn't be painful. You know what I'm saying? And it feels like, grabbing and being desperate and trying to hold on to shit that isn't serving you. And so her fear of losing him is her own abandonment issues because her mother is there, but we didn't hear anything about her father. But here's the thing that kills me about this scene, y'all. He's always holding it over everybody's head that he could possibly get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate the fact that he constantly holds it over everybody's head that he can be killed any day now. So allow me to do whatever I want to do. Allow me to harm you. Allow me to, depend on you in a way that you can't depend on me, because I can die out here in these streets. He says he made her have JoJo was in case something happened to him. And she says, well, what if something happens to me? And he says, you gonna be all right. Is she? Or is she gonna be at the fucking bus stop pregnant by herself with a damn toddler next to her, trying to figure out how she's gonna pay her bills and take care of these kids and go to work and get the carburetor fixed and shit for to go to work? She gets up and cleans and cooks while he sleeps. Then he gets up and she feeds him and rubs on him like he's done something to deserve this treatment of being taken care of. Thank you for the super chat, Sunflower Love. Thank you for gifting us with your impeccable storytelling. Your Now That We're Grown videos help me focus while studying. Also, we was watching this movie like crack on BT back in the day. Hypnosis is real. Thank you. And yes, it is. Thank you. Kim and Sweet Pea are screaming at each other in her mama's house that's wrapped in plastic. Hilarious. She had the fucking throw pillows wrapped in plastic. I said, not the throw pillows wrapped in plastic, ma'am. Damn. He says they're insinuating. Y'all in there insinuating. Y'all don't want me to be here. Fuck it, I'll leave. Kim says, shut up with all that noise. Jody comes in while P is threatening to put his foot up Kim's ass in front of her mama because she's back talking him, not respecting her man. You back talking me? You not respecting your man? While he's in there playing the video games. He says he's in a house full of a bunch of sensitive ass females, okay? Unstable creatures. That's what he gonna call them. Instead of calling them bitches, he gonna call them unstable creatures dealing with their fucking emotions and their hormones, because they probably don't like the fact that he's sitting on the floor playing a video game in the middle of the day instead of being somewhere finding a fucking job so that he can contribute to the household instead of being a child dependent upon his girlfriend and her mother, while talking to them crazy, while saying that their emotions are all over the place, even though Kim and her mother are in the kitchen showing great restraint. Kim tells her mom, mama, don't say nothing. It's only going to get worse. This is Kim's mama's house. And y'all are telling her that she doesn't need to say anything in her house. He goes into the kitchen after he offers Jody everything in the fucking refrigerator like he paid for it. Then he apologizes to Kim and Miss Daniels and says, look, I love y'all. I love Kim, and I probably love you more because without you, there'd be no Kim. You bought me these clothes. You bought me the video game. You told me I could stay here. I'm just trying to build a family here with y'all. Y'all my family. All right, fuck it then. I'm going to be out. So you mean to tell me that lady let you stay in her house, bought your clothes, gave you money, bought you a video game, and you standing in the middle of her living room and all of the shit she paid for, talking to her daughter about respecting her man. She ain't got no respect for her man. Do you hear how insane that is? You are not a man. You have anger issues. You're the emotional creature. Y'all, the gaslighting is just ridiculous. I can't. Y'all, I see so much gaslighting of women all over the place. You know, like these posts that act as if there are so many women that have the same attributes as men. Like they'll literally say something that men are known for doing and then put women on it and act like women are out here doing the shit that men are doing the way men are doing it. Like Al Reynolds acting like black women being with white men isn't seen as much of a problem as when black men are with white women. Even though he uses the example of how often this happens. So why is it when black man is with a white woman, why are you not framing the language like black women are being abandoned? But when black women go and be with white men, now all of a sudden black men are being abandoned. Do y'all see how insane that is for the men to be doing something and then people actually get online and say shit like the women are the ones doing it at large numbers? It's insane. It's insane, you guys. I don't even understand it. Anyway, they leave and Pete proceeds to blame Jody for not finding him a job, not being his brother's keeper. Jody says, okay, I'll give you one piece of merchandise to sell. You sell it and we can talk business. He opens his trunk, tells him to pick something. He picks this spring summer dress. They're in the fall. So before Jody can even tell him why he shouldn't choose that dress, he tells him he know what the fuck he want to sell. So he lets him go out there on the street where everybody else is, begging you to buy some stolen shit. And he runs up on a woman that was like, that don't look like it's my size or even in season. 2 things that Jody would know that you did not. Okay, actually 3, because Jody would have went somewhere where women were in order to sell that dress instead of standing on a corner where all those men were selling, cameras and shit. Okay, so he gets the woman with the manipulation, because if it's one thing that men know how to do is manipulate women into fucking them. Okay. And that's another thing that annoys me. Like, for y'all to act like women are more about men's money than men are about just having sex with women and then lying to them in order to get the sex, manipulating women in order to get the sex, making women feel like you want to actually be in a relationship or that you really have genuine feeling for them when really you just want to fuck them. And honestly, you may want to fuck them like out of anger. So, or frustration or boredom, whereas the woman is having sex with you because it feels good and she likes you. Okay. So it's very annoying to me to watch him do that. He literally complimented her and said she looked like Tyra Banks. And as soon as she asked him what the fabric was, he flipped out on her and said, damn, why you got to be all technical? You act like I'm out here begging your ass for change. So we now understand that Sweet Pea does not have the temperament to work for anybody or to sell anything besides drugs, because he doesn't know how to be calm long enough to sell one garment. So everybody can line up jobs for you, Sweet Pea. It doesn't mean you'll be able to keep them or get them if you can't not curse your boss out. And the truth of the matter is, there are more of you niggas like that than not. Y'all cannot, especially if y'all have bosses at these jobs that are women, y'all cannot take people telling y'all what to do or people reprimanding you for not doing something right. Y'all are unstable and y'all can never take it when people keep it a buck. That's why y'all don't have good jobs the way black women will have a good job. Like, and that's no disrespect. I know a lot of black men with good jobs. I'm not saying that y'all don't have good jobs. But I'm saying, y'all see just in this movie, the way it looked like Kim got a job, Kim mama got a job, Jody mama probably got a job somewhere we ain't even seen it. But we know she probably do something because she maintained herself very well, okay? All of the young women work. When you went to her job, it was mostly women working at that job. So it seems as if it's mostly women that are working these jobs, these corporate jobs that will get them paychecks, but they will also have to deal with racism, microaggressions, being sexually harassed, and have to keep their cool in those situations. So it's so funny to me how a lot of men can't do that. And that's the reason why they don't get jobs. They don't keep jobs because they can't stay calm long enough to not get fired or have security called on them. And we know that there are a lot of women that are like that as well. You know what I'm saying? We know that. Bondy, that is literally going on in someone's life that I know. Men do not want to listen to women. No, they don't. They really don't like it. They feel like they shouldn't have to listen to you because you're a woman, even if you're in this position because you know more. It's a lack of self-control. And I think being raised and being raised to be aggressive, first of all, and then also being coddled in your aggression means that once you get out into the real world, i.e. jobs, you can't keep one and you can't control yourself. Okay? Because you were never taught how to do that. Because in your life, everybody had to move around you because that's what the coddling of Black boys does. It doesn't prepare them for how they will not be coddled once they get out in the street. The idea of babying the fuck out of somebody in order to prepare them for the way the world is going to kick their ass is stupid. I'm not saying that you should kick your ass, kick your child's ass in preparation for the world kicking it, but I also feel it needs to be a happy medium where you teach them how to deal with rejection. You teach them how to deal with things not always going their way. You need to teach them how to deal with hearing no. You need to teach them to deal with them not being everybody's type. Not everybody's going to like you. You're not going to be able to impress everybody. You're not going to always be the most athletic, the best looking, the smartest. You're not always going to be that, and you need to be okay with that either way. That is what people need to be teaching these dudes, and they're not teaching them any of that. It's almost like pretend like he's the best thing since sliced bread until we can't pretend anymore. And then we just be silent about it because we don't want to have to argue with the nigga because we've now created this monster that can't be told anything. So yeah, that's what's going on. So after he finished going off on that lady, telling her he's just trying to live his life right and sell her this here merchandise, she says, that's what you call living your life right, selling stolen merchandise? Fuck out my face. So y'all, Jody answers Yvette's phone at the house, which this is another thing that I find so funny. He literally leaves her house in her car every day to go and fuck somebody else besides her and has the audacity to run to answer the phone in case it's somebody calling for her. So it's a collect call from Rodney in prison, okay? He ignores the first call and then yells at her because he told her to put a block on the phone and stop talking to Rodney. And she says Rodney just needs somebody to talk to. He lonely. It's not that deep. Don't trip. Now, this is what I want to say about that. Every nigga who is in jail is not somebody that got there on a mistake or one bad decision. There are niggas in jail that should be there because they're psychos. Something's wrong with them. They're not right in the head. And that's why they're in jail. A lot of them are like that, y'all. More of them than not are fucked up and are in jail for a reason. And she's on the phone talking about he's harmless. So I want you to remember how she underestimated who Rodney was, even though Rodney has spent a large amount of time in prison. And that's not the shit on everybody that's been in prison, y'all. It's not at all. Okay. I know people that came home and been just fine. Okay. For the most part. But Rodney is not one of those cases. And I feel like in most cases, it's not like that. Like in most cases, these men are not coming home. You know what I'm saying? Being, being able to be emotionally, understanding or just not a savage for lack of a better word. Rodney's a fucking savage. He's a psycho. And she's acting like he's not that. And I don't understand why. I almost feel like y'all guilt Black women into not being down for street niggas. And then they fall in love with street niggas. They want to be with street niggas that's promoted, and it ends up getting them killed. It ends up getting them hurt. It ends up getting them put in situations that they would not be in if they were paid attention to just the plain fact that the nigga's in jail. just that one thing. If that one thing was like, no, it might protect you. It might have protected her from Rodney's ass. But she thought Rodney, wasn't a big deal. So she's sitting on the fucking phone with Rodney, telling Rodney all her business. And Rodney's soaking it up and becoming obsessed in the meantime. Okay? So Rodney calls back when Jody hangs the phone up the first time. And Jody does the fake, I'm big in the chest. Why you calling my phone, homeboy? And Rodney say, nigga, is this Jody? The bitch ass nigga that's not taking care of his responsibilities as a motherfucking man got my boo pregnant? Nigga, you's a bitch. Love Snoop in this movie. He's terrible, but I love him. And Jody said, Man, listen, you in prison, okay? Like, once you concentrate on not dropping the soap, you bitch ass nigga, and they hang the phone up on one another, nice beef, okay? But we didn't realize the reason why Rodney was calling Yvette was to tell her that he was going to be getting out of jail soon. And I need to understand how the penal system allows for you to put somebody's name down without asking them if it's okay for a fucking inmate to stay at their house. Jody then tells Yvette that she put a goddamn block on my phone tomorrow, Yvette. And I'm like, it's not your phone. You don't live there. Suck at it. Talking about that's why you needed an extra $100 on a phone bill. Jody then talks to Sweet Pea about Yvette not trusting him and having to deal with Melvin. Okay, he's stressed out because Melvin is, ghost fucking dog fucking to piss out his mama, and mad at Yvette because she doesn't trust him because he's not trustworthy. It's insane. He's laughing about it. That girl is literally over there like sad, depressed, anxiety filled because she's worried about him cheating on her. And he's over there laughing about the fact that she's wondering if there's a bitch in the bathroom, if there's a bitch at the store. Apparently with you, there's always a bitch somewhere. Okay. P starts talking about how he wants to be baptized so he can try to keep from doing something. He says he don't even stay over at Kim's house no more during the day. He leave at 9 o'clock in the morning and come back at 6 like he was out doing something constructive. He got to ask his woman and her mama for money. You think that make him feel like a man? And Jody was like, you got to figure out something you good at. You know what I'm saying? Figure out something that you good at doing. And he was like, I'm good at robbing. And it's like, okay, so maybe if you can learn how to control your anger, you can figure out what's the legal way to rob people. Because if you pay attention, I feel like the caucasity of the system in which we live, white people have figured out a way to do everything legally that they make illegal for black people. So you just have to figure out the legal way of doing whatever it is you like doing. What you want to rob somebody? Go work for an insurance company. You want to rob somebody? Go work for a bank. You want to rob somebody? Go work on the stock market where they create fucking numbers out of nowhere and fluctuate it up and down so we can be out here struggling and shit. Yeah, no, P is absolutely depressed and anxiety filled with no recourse whatsoever. Because in this time period, nobody in their hood is talking about therapy. Thank God for social media. I swear to God. And I know a lot of these dudes have access to therapy and they aren't using it. They still gonna be out here fucked up. But I would like to say, the early 2000 hood niggas is not the hood niggas of 2022. It's not. So there's definitely a difference. Okay. Right, exactly. I told all my exes this. If you can sell drugs, go work in pharma. Hello. That's what I said. I'm like, so you don't want to just do this legally? Like you can literally go and sell drugs for pharmaceutical companies and make big bank. Oh, I like yeah, you can. It's a hustle. It's a hustle. Because you got to show up. You got to aggravate the shit out them people. Okay. Like, I'm just saying. So it's just, or go move to a state like they was in California. All he had to do was wait a little bit longer and open up a dispensary. Or go in, go in on half or partially on a dispensary or some shit like that. Okay. But either way, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I really wish that y'all would game the system. Like, that's the way, that's the way around it. Game it. It's what they do. Like, pay attention and learn something from how they're gaming their own system. It's hilarious. Anyway, so Juanita is in the garden. The garden is finally blooming and she's sitting there drinking her wine. Her tomatoes then got bright, fat, and red. And I thought this was a beautiful moment to show how that woman manifested that stuff for herself. She said that's what she wanted, and we got to see it happen for her. You know what I'm saying? So Jody is in the garden pulling up weeds. Melvin comes outside to work in the garden too, and Jody gets up to leave. And Melvin is like, why every time I come out in the garden, you got to get up and leave? We got to stop all this. Like, Melvin doesn't want to fight with Jody, but Jody is being stubborn. Okay. So later on, Jody asks why Melvin hasn't brought his kids around. And he says he doesn't get along with his children's mothers. he might understand that. And Jody was like, nah, I get along with both of my baby mamas. And he says, we'll see how long that lasts. He says, however long I want it to last, which is bullshit. But essentially, as long as you take care of your kids, I don't think Peanut or Yvette would be a problem for him. You know what I'm saying? Peanut especially. I think Peanut just wants you to take care of your kid, and she barely give a fuck about that. Thank you, Shawnee, for the super sticker. But basically, Jody tells Melvin that he found out that he has a 17-year-old and a 5-year-old, and he went and talked to his 17-year-old son at his high school and found out that Melvin used to beat his mama's ass and asked if he was going to beat his mama too. And he says, you know why I don't like you, Melvin? Because you an old flaw ass nigga. You know, I can smell your dirty ass from over here. Like, that's type. And Melvin was just like, like, this nigga talking to me crazy. He don't know how crazy I am. I'm about to go crazy. Don't call me crazy. But he says, youngster, whatever. And Jody, being a child and being green and not reading the fucking room, closes his eyes. And Melvin comes up behind him and puts him in a chokehold and said, you know, he's like, oh yeah, call for your mama. Okay. He calls him a scared little chocolate bitch. And he says if they were in prison, he would make him get on his knees and fix it. So when Juanita comes in blissfully happy, ignoring the fact that Jody is doing this, and Melvin is breathing all hard, and she's just like, what you doing? And then you keep going to say, my cigarettes. Okay, all right, stop, wash your hands. Like, just oblivious, blissfully ignorant to what was going on right there in the moment. I'm glad Juanita didn't have no daughters. I'm going to just say it like that. I'm glad Juanita didn't have no daughters, okay? Because that statement right there, oh, you still want to be with a nigga that basically told your son that he would, like, face, like he told your son that he would his face. Child, okay. See what I mean? Like, nobody wants Juanita to leave Melvin in this movie. But in real life, if a nigga said some shit like that, that should give you some pause. First of all, why was it okay for Melvin to insinuate his willingness to assault a man and gloss over the abuse allegation? Now, I'm going to remind y'all that Melvin said he didn't have his dome straight. But I'm going to also remind y'all that he got a 5-year-old. And something makes me feel like you're not in those women's lives because you beat them. So to me, you now moved on to Juanita, and y'all gonna, basically forget about the children that you didn't left behind because you used to beat their mama. Yeah, when he licked his head, that was hilarious to me. So yeah, problematic as fuck. We're ignoring all of that, right, Juanita? Okay, because all that matters is that she's happy. That's all that matters. Jody goes to see Pandora, and she asks where he and Yvette live, and he says they don't live together. She says, you ain't gotta lie. I know y'all live together. Y'all, Pandora's house was so cute. Pandora's house was so cute. She had a fire going. She had candles. She was like, yeah, aromatherapy. And I feel like they framed Pandora like she was some temptress, right? Because she was like, listen, we ain't gotta talk. I just want some dick. Isn't it funny how when a woman comes up to a man and just lets him know straight out what she wants from him, he runs like a bitch? But if he was there and it was like coercion in a way, like if he had to convince Pandora to let him fuck, then it would have been different. The vibe would have been different. Because essentially, Jody, you've been cheating on Yvette this entire time. And now that Pandora is telling you she wants some dick, you're thinking about how she works with her. Now you feel like it's wrong. You feel like her must be trying to fuck you to make your girl mad now. Now you're thinking about that. You didn't think about that on the way to her house. You didn't think about that all the times you was flirting with her. You wait until that girl put a condom on and slid on your dick before you pushed her off and then called her a hoe. No, he didn't call her a hoe. She called him a hoe. But he said something that was disrespectful to her. He was just mad disrespectful, And I was just like, so you mad? Yeah, it's very much reminiscent of Boomerang. It was all cool when you was out here slinging your penis to any and everybody, when you was manipulating them. But as soon as you known for being a hoe and now a woman come and look for that dick, now you running scared. Okay? Their interaction was very problematic. Okay, he gets up to leave and she says this is just between them. She puts his hand on her ass and tells him to come get this pussy, and she sits on it, but he can't do it. And I said they make Pandora seem like the temptress, but like she calls him when he leaves, he's a hoe. She was like, "You hoe." I was like, "Yeah, because you are." So the next day, Pandora is being a messy bitch, feeling slighted, but she didn't say anything. She just stared at Yvette all day. She didn't say anything to her, though. But this is how you know that it's not Pandora's fault. Like, if Pandora wanted to blow up the spot, but what happens? They do a little, lesbian joke about her. She must be a carpet muncher, some disrespectful, homophobic shit. And then he asked Yvette if she's going to cook. Mind you, he still doesn't have a 9-to-5 job. So I don't know what Jody's been doing with his day all day, but he's been riding around in her car. He picks her up and then asks if she's going to cook. She says no. He calls her lazy after she just got off from work. They glazed over it because we're going to Lucy's. Okay, so we go to Lucy's. And then she insists on paying for the food that I'm sure is not that much. That bothered me. Why are you insisting on paying for the food? So when I see posts, when y'all talking about how, women only want men for their money, I'm like, bitch, where are these women and where are these men that have all of this money for us to be only looking for? Where are they? Because I don't see them. I see a whole bunch of lower middle class niggas that need somebody to come in and split the bills with their ass. That's what I see most of. Or some of y'all that do have money, but y'all stingy and y'all like to use y'all money over y'all women as a way to control them. Okay? So this whole conversation that I'm hearing cycling that women only want men for money. Meanwhile, you got Yvette sitting up here, this nigga riding around in her car that she paying a note on. He asking her to cook, telling her she lazy for not wanting to cook, and then she insists on paying for the food, and he like, all right, have it then. What the fuck is that? No, nigga, you insist on paying. You insist on paying. Oh my God, I clocked that. That annoyed me. Anyway, I'm sorry. Triggered. Because it's all of these small little things. So after she insists on paying for the Lucy's, she sees the box of condoms. She finds the 3-pack of condoms that only has one left. She asks if he fucked somebody in her car. Give me my shake. He says he doesn't remember. Do you know how crazy that is for somebody to ask you if you fuck somebody in their car and you say you don't remember? She says you've been with that many girls. Y'all, that's such a gaslighting thing to say that. You know that that's going to upset her. And the fact that every time you talk to a man when he's dogging a woman out like this, you actually have to tell him, think about if she did this to you. Do y'all know how insane it is for y'all not to have that simple empathic thing in your head that makes you think sometimes, what if this person did this to me? Something be wrong with y'all that y'all don't have that in y'all head, okay? But anyway, she asked if he's still fucking Peanut, and he doesn't answer, but she says she know he's still fucking Peanut. She figured that much. But did you fuck Peanut in her car? He says no, and he asked if they go and get JoJo from her mom's, and she says no, he all right, take me home. We need to finish this. Oh yeah, just say fuck the fact that you told your mama you was gonna pick your son up at 5:30 after you got off from work. Okay, fine. Just another trope. Just leave your child with your mama because mama ain't got no life. So she asked him to be honest. Now, it's another thing you young women like to do. You like to ask someone to be honest, and then when they're honest with you, you can't take it. Okay? So he honestly tells her that she's his woman. He loves her, but he smashes other women from time to time. He don't know why, he just do. So that's the truth. So she gets upset, and she says, so you fucked that girl at my job, didn't you? You got all them bitches at my job having a reason to be sitting up there laughing at me. And he like, why you over there getting all riled up? I can't stand when you act insecure, Yvette. Damn, that shit, like, how, like, nigga, you fuck this, you might as well have fucked Pandora. So you fucked this girl co-worker, embarrassed the shit out of her, and got the audacity to call her insecure. Gaslighting. I'm not insecure. You're untrustworthy. The fuck? She says, Jody, if I'm insecure, it's because you made me this way. All you do is think about yourself. Why did you have to fuck that girl out of all the people? She gave him a little slight on the chin, okay? He tries to grab her keys and leave again. And she says, no, you're going to stop. You're going to listen to me. And he puts her hands on the wall and she pushes him and she punches him. And once she punched him and he went like that, she was like, yeah, nigga, I'm tired of you. And she crying and pushing on him and he backhand slaps her. Oh, and y'all know how women do. You didn't initiate the fucking, physical altercation somewhat because he put his hands on her first when he put up against the wall like that. But either way, you're a young woman, you're going to hit the man, and then he hits your ass back, and now you laying on the floor crying like, oh, you never hit me. And then, y'all, he takes her to the bedroom to make her feel better, which means to give her oral. The only thing about this scene that I never noticed before, y'all, is that a part of me felt like she really didn't want to do it. Y'all know she kept saying stop and telling him she didn't want it, and he did it anyway. So as he's doing it and she's going through, the range of emotions during having an orgasm or whatever, one moment it's happy and she's thinking about how much she loves him, getting pregnant for him, getting married, JoJo, thinking about all of the wonderful possibilities. And then she comes down and starts to think about all of the negative things, him being dead, her being alone and pregnant, all of those things. And then when he gets up and kisses her on the cheek and tells her that, he's sorry, she's dead in the face. It didn't look like she felt good. It didn't feel like, it felt like she left feeling empty. That's what it looked like to me. So once again, he takes the keys, he takes her car, and he leaves. And this is starting to become abuse to me. The way he will disrupt her emotionally and then take her car, leave her in the house like punishment or something, and then go home to his mama house to like mentally leave her and everything that they have going on at her house and on her. So fucked up, right? Thank you, Sassy Brown, for the super chat, girl. I'm seeing every scene with this narrative. Girl, it is like, oh my God. It's crazy when you watch it back, child. Jody, my Jody. Okay. So he wakes up the next morning doing another childlike activity of eating cereal and watching his morning cartoons when he realizes that Yvette's car isn't sitting in the driveway. So Mama, first thing. Then he calls her and says that, you still got that track on your phone. Okay, well, we can call the cops. We got to let them know what's up. And she said, ain't nobody stole my car. I stole my car, Jody. And we see that her eye is black. This nigga got on his bike and rode at full fucking speed to her house to kick and beat on her door about taking his car. She says, your car. He said, yeah, if it's not my car, give me the money I spent on the Daytons in the tent. You mean all of the shit that she didn't ask you to do? The only thing she probably asked you to do was to fix the engine. And because you the one driving her fucking car all over California every day, it seems as though you might, want to help her out and fix the car that you take ownership of. The audacity of you to tell her to give you the money back. Nigga, she pays the fucking note and the insurance. And you put tint and Dayton's on the car one time, ride it every day, take it from her, and then you rolled over to her house in your fucking bike that has nympho on it. Did anybody notice that? Never noticed that until last night. His bike has nympho on it. And he built his bike, right? Why wouldn't a nigga that know how to build bikes have like a bike store? Try to figure out how to do something like that. No, you want to sell stolen clothes, right? He building bikes and shit for the kids in the neighborhood. Her neighbor comes outside, stop kicking on the damn door. Her son comes out of the bedroom screaming for his daddy. And then the nigga says, why are you trying to keep me from my son? Because she stops her son from going and opening up the door and letting him in. Because he just blacked her eye and he's trying to kick her fucking door down because she took her car back. And then tells her, why are you trying to keep me from my son? Even though you didn't give a fuck about your son. The only thing you cared about was her car. I would be asking, so do you want Yvette or do you want her car? Because if that's the case, you selling your little clothes. Please save you a couple of $1,000s and go buy you a fucking car and leave this lady alone if that's all it's going to take. What? He going to tell her, you know what, Yvette, fuck you. She says, after all this shit I put up with you, nigga, fuck me, fuck you. Y'all, that was the line, that line, I feel like nobody has ever said a line and meant that shit as much as she said it in that moment. Shout out to So he goes home to his mama and Melvin, who are happy and chilling in the living room dancing and shit. Okay, living their best life. Jody complains to Anita about, feeling like, yeah, he a good dude. He may cheat from time to time, but he good to her ass. He take her back and forth to work every day. He fix the car when he need fixing. He give her money on the phone bill every now and again. And he put groceries in the fridge when he stay over there. Y'all, the fact that he think that's enough. The fact that you think it's enough to throw her money on a phone bill every now and again, y'all have a child together. Y'all have a whole fucking baby together, and that's all the financial help you give her? And you think that makes you a good guy? Do y'all hear this shit? It's insane. Juanita asked how he would feel. First of all, she asked for him to think about if Yvette had done all of those things to him. What if she fucked around on you, took your car, and left you in a hot ass house with a baby all day? How would you feel? You taking her side, mama. Oh, she taking her side because she's asking you to think about how you would feel if Yvette did what you did to her, to you? Then she says, I just understand where she's coming from. Just think if somebody would do all of the things you're doing to Yvette to me. Your daddy used to do some of the same dumb shit that you're doing now. I just know where Yvette is coming from and I understand how she feels. After a while, a woman can feel used and unappreciated and she will get tired of a man. But as much as you're thinking about her right now, she's thinking about you too. And she is. Yvette is sad, okay? She forgot that the nigga wasn't coming get her. Forgot her car was in the driveway. It was so sad. You are the someone for me. And I have always believed that you will forever be right here with me. Okay, playing solitaire alone. She called Sharika. Sharika in the house, drinking and smoking. Okay, drinking on that thug passion with Chris. Okay. And when, she started talking to Yvette, he like, oh, you on the fucking phone again? Bitch, get off the phone so I can come over here and I can drop it off in your drawers. I like aggressiveness too, y'all. I like to feel like you gotta have me. I like that. That's cool. But let me tell you something. It always matters the way somebody talk to you. Not only does Chris beat Sharika, but calls her a bitch and tells her to get off the phone and stop bumping her gums so he could drop it off in her drawers. What you gonna drop off in my drawers? Some shit? Like, get the fuck out of here with that. All for him to come over to her while she on the phone and start fucking her while she on the phone. Then Rodney come knocking at the door and just pushes his way into Yvette's house. Talking about you got some food in this motherfucker. Nigga, what? Once again, audacity, entitlement. It's insane. K-Rup, thank you for the super chat. When I was 20 crazy, number one, used to keep my car while I was at work. Pick me up late one day with speakers in it. I'm triggered. Yeah, girl, thank you for the super chat. Girl, it's crazy as hell. Okay. So Jody gets robbed for his Alizé by some little niggas. So he crawls like he's such a bitch. I'm sorry, y'all, but Jody is such a bitch. Yeah, you got jumped, but you rode your bike all the way to Kim Mama house, all for you to fall out on the floor when you get there. You rode all the way there using both of your legs and arms, and now you can't walk up the damn stairs and in the door without acting like somebody shot you. So of course, P tells Kim go get his gun and they go looking for the little niggas. They roll up on him. P pretends to be drunk and then pulls a gun on one of them. They line him up and y'all seen it. Okay, he give him a lesson on how to punch a nigga in the face. Okay, what kind of soft ass punch was that, Joey Joe? Okay, because you know everybody got to have their super hard homeboy that convinces them to do stupid shit, right? So that's Sweet Pea, right? But Sweet Pea is always, you know, also the nigga you need in times where there's only one thing you can do, and that's kill somebody. So, you know, Rodney gonna put himself in a situation to be just that, and P is gonna be the nigga to call. Okay, so P punching everybody out except for the last dude that had all of the, you know, oh look at him, he got heart, cuz he got heart, cuz don't tell us. Yeah, it was funny to me that the dude who had the most heart, you humiliated most. He beat him he beat him with a belt to the point where Jody couldn't even look at it anymore. I feel like at what point is Jody gonna realize you ain't that hard, nigga? That's the thing for me. Jody constantly had moments throughout the movie that shows you he's not as hard as Sweet Pea. He's not on that level. Yet he continues to pretend as if he is. That's how you end up dead. When you know you're not a street nigga, but you like handling everything like a street nigga. So y'all, Yvette is in the bed with her baby reading a romance novel when Rodney comes in trying to fuck. I said, let me tell y'all something. Everybody, you know, Snoop Dogg is wrong for being this skinny. I'ma just say it. Snoop Dogg is wrong for being this skinny. I don't know who is attractive to for a nigga to look like an alien, you know, from Men in Black. But I was just like, why is he this thin? Why? Eat some more protein. Build some fucking muscle. I don't know, my nigga, but you being that thin is just like, oh my, you trying to touch you? Ew. Anyway, so she tells him to get the fuck out of her room before she called his parole officer. Okay. Jody goes over to get JoJo, and Yvette left her son with Rodney and 3 of his hood ass homeboys. I said Yvette then lost her motherfucking mind, but I also feel like that was probably her trying to show Jody what was going on. Like, I want him to see. I want him to feel away. I want him to be jealous. I want him to do something about the fact that this nigga's in my house. So I'm going to leave my baby with these niggas who I can't trust with my kid. That shit was crazy. So he comes and gets the baby. And when he walks away, you know, he giving the niggas the look. But he walk away because ain't nobody got time for that shit. Snoop said, can you believe this nigga? Gonna come over to my motherfucking house, talk shit to me while I was in jail. Fuck my bitch, have a baby bar. Man, get the heat, cuz. It's literally one of my favorite parts of the movie. But from now on, they're plotting on Jody. But I'm gonna just say this. Why is it that every time a woman has something, men try to take ownership of it? That is not your house. Jody did it to her, and now so is he. You niggas don't pay no bills. That's not y'all house. That's not y'all car. What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Juanita and Melvin are dancing to some Marvin Gaye, y'all. Ooh, I love that song. I do. No. I'm spacing. I hate that. Jody, Marvin, please believe me. You were my wife, my life, my hopes and dreams. For you to understand what this means, I shall explain. I stood all the jealousy, all the bitching too. Yes, I'm forgiving, oh, once in bed with you. Oh, darling, how could we end up like this? Oh, baby, let me reminisce. Oh, and when we We stopped the hands of time. You set my soul on fire. My one desire was to love you and think of you with pride and keep you satisfied, oh baby, oh baby. We could not bear the mental strain. Oh my God, child. Leave you. I never meant to. Now you see how much you hurt me. But if you ever need me, I'll be by your side. Though the many happy times we had can really never outweigh the bad. But oh, I never loved nobody like I loved you, baby. Come on, bruh. I cannot. But the song and the reason why I felt the need to sing it, like all of the words and shit, is because it's so spot on for the moment. She shows up, her car is broke, so she's in Sharika's car. It's pouring raining outside. He like, them niggas still at your fucking house? And she says no. She pleads with him and says she didn't ask for Rodney to come and she can't get him out of her house. He tells her it's not his fucking problem and tells her to get off his doorstep. Some mean, disrespectful shit. She gets in a car and she cries and she says, oh God, he don't love me no more. And I was just like, he don't love you no more. That nigga like said, fuck you. And I get it. She was so hurt. She's 20. I get it. But I'm going to tell y'all, I remember there was a little dude who used to like me back in the day. And he was all right, but I didn't know how I felt about him, okay? Because he was like hood with dirty shoes and shit. And I ain't got time for that. I wasn't raised like that. My sister would never. Okay, my sister, dirty shoes. And I can remember we was talking about Baby Boy because back then it was the thing. It was the thing to watch back then. Okay, it was right when it came out. I'm young, right? And I can remember him laughing at that scene and feeling like that's what she get for leaving him. Even at that age, we couldn't be no more than 12 or 13 years old. And this boy understood that it was funny. Her pain was funny because she decided not to stay with him, even though he's the one that blacked her eye and cheated on her with her coworker. Needless to say, I stopped talking to him after that. So yeah, y'all, she said, you don't want me no more. Oh God, get me out of here. Okay. So he go back inside. He was about to go back out there and decided not to. And so he calls Peanut, talking about, once you come scoop a nigga up so I can give you a sample. Child, Peanut said, nigga, what? You ain't got your other baby mama car tonight? Listen, if I want some dick, I'll call you, and then you can figure out a way to get here. Click. The fuck? I was like, you better. I was rooting for Peanut. I was rooting for Peanut the whole time after that, because Peanut was like, nigga, I'm watching TV. Fuck out of here with that. Wasn't thirsty for this nigga at all. Also, he didn't love her the way he loved a vet, you know, if you want to call it love. But anyway, I feel like you also didn't have your own apartment and your own car. Like, you were still living with your mama and much younger, probably like 18. So I just kind of feel like you probably didn't want Peanut because Peanut didn't come with an apartment and a car for you to steal every day. So Juanita blames blames Jody for some weed she found in her garden. And he was like, first of all, he was sleeping in the middle of the day. This nigga still ain't got no fucking job. But y'all know it wasn't him. It was Melvin that planted the weed. I mean, Melvin is the fucking landscaper. I don't know why she thought Jody planted the weed in her garden. That nigga too lazy to plant anything. All he do is come back there and pull up weeds. But she blamed him, go off on him. They wait for Melvin to get there. Melvin comes in, says it was him, says it was a mistake. It'll never happen again. Kicks her all nasty in the mouth, and then she says it's fine. This pisses Jody off because once again, he feels like you got a different set of rules for your nigga than you have for me, and I'm your fucking son. And honestly, in this moment, I understood his anger. You ready to curse me out and kick me out Now she already wants you gone. So she looking for an excuse. But either way, she was ready to scream out on him. But as soon as she found out that it was Melvin who did it, all of a sudden it's not that big of a deal anymore. But there he go with the fake bravado. And he says, "This is my house too." And she asked, "Your house?" And this is when she flipped the fuck out on him. "Do you pay any bills in this motherfucker? When was the last time you fixed anything? All you do is eat, sleep, and shit. Walking around here acting like you King Tut or somebody. Ain't no guess whose house this is. This is my house, mine. And if I want to bring a man all up and through here, I'll bring a man all up and through here. That's my set, not yours." Went off on it. Okay, flip the fuck out. Melvin comes in, whoo-hoo, laughing and shit, right? Jody makes the mistake of thinking he could, go back and forth with Melvin. And Melvin tells him, "You got an Oedipus complex. You think your mama is your woman, but this is my woman." Jody didn't like that shit. Jody goes over to him and says, "I got heat for niggas like you, cuz pretending to be tough. You know you're not as tough as Melvin. So why are you pretending to be as tough as Melvin?" So he pushes Melvin when Melvin blew a kiss at him. And Melvin punched his ass so hard that he went across the room and fell into the coffee table. Yeah, Melvin is an instigator, but at the same time, I'm not mad at Melvin on some slick shit for the way he talked to him, because it was the truth. The truth of the matter is, you do think this is your woman and it's not. You do need to get the fuck out of the house and go be a grown-ass man. Your mama woke you up in the middle of the day because you were in the middle of the day sleep in her house where you don't pay any bills. But yes, no, Melvin is absolutely messy. Melvin ain't shit. Melvin is a deadbeat to his own fucking kids, and Melvin is abusive. But as soon as he threatens to leave after she jumped in front of her son, of course, stop, she separates them. And Jody like, "I'ma leave." She like, "No, wait." And then he says, "I'ma leave." Melvin says, "No, I'ma go. And she says, "No, please don't. Please don't. Please don't." Even if you're not completely upset with Melvin, Melvin is the one that put weed in your garden, broke your coffee table, and just instigated an even bigger argument between you and your son, and then proceeded to knock him the fuck out. And while you were trying to protect your son, he kicked and punched your son while you were holding him. So he lost his shit. Then he punched some holes in your wall. But you begging and pleading for him to stay. The only reason this isn't as problematic as it really is because Jody is grown. But the fact of the matter is, something tells me that Juanita acted like this even when the boys weren't grown. Even when they were children, she would choose fucked up men over her children. Jody and his nympho bike leave, and he tells his mom it's her fault if he gets killed. And that's what I'm talking about. Holding his mortality over everybody's head. You know what, nigga? If leaving my house means that you get killed, that's on you. You got your own life to live. Okay? Juanita is 40-year-old Yvette. DeQuasia, thank you for the super chat. From watching the movie constantly, I was always on Melvin's side because Jody was always testing him for no reason other than him being jealous. Yeah, and of course, that's how we all felt. But the truth of the matter is, Melvin showed himself to be just as incapable of controlling himself, which means at some point, Jody could absolutely be right. When Jody is no longer in the household and he's not an issue for Melvin and Juanita's relationship, and then they start to argue over regular shit like normal people do, and Melvin starts to go and spend a little bit too much time out with his homeboys and they get into it, then what? How is he going to handle conflict with Juanita if this is the way he handles it with her son? Either way, he apologizes and says, "I'm sorry, I fucked up." She laid on top of him ass naked and cried all night over her son. Rodney got his hair curled, girl, okay? And he's trying to fuck on Yvette, but she is not here for it. And I'd rather be with you. Ooh, I'd rather be with you. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be with you. No, Melvin is not the older version of Jody. Melvin is the older version of P. Okay? I know I might sound strange, but I really mean it. Okay, so he got his hair done. He was trying to fuck. Yvette said no. Okay, use the closet towel. I mean, use the lotion towels in the closet, something like that. Use your hand. Use what you know, jailbird. Rodney, the next morning she like, you got to get the fuck out of here, Rodney. You got to go somewhere. I don't give a fuck where you go, but you got to go. Then he kick over her baby Fort, and he was like, I hate you. And I said, so y'all notice that Yvette tells Jody that she hates him all the time, which is why her son is now mimicking I hate you to Rodney, who then says, I hate you too, little nigga. You ain't my son. And it's always been an issue for me, the way men or people, period, not just men, but people, period, in the Black community will want to be with someone, but then treat their child like shit because it's not their child. I don't like that. And I don't think that that is a good quality for any man to feel that way about your child, that because it's not his, who gives a fuck. Yeah, I think in women too, women who don't give a fuck about the way these men don't take care of their children. But then as soon as he leaves you to be a single mother with no fucking help because you ain't in a good spot with him anymore, then all of a sudden you become, a part of when them girls are trying to warn you he wasn't shit. Child, anyway. I'm sorry, y'all. I went on a fun tirade. So Rodney attempts to grape juice Yvette in front of her son, but he decides that he's not that fucked up. Okay, not in front of the little boy. Okay, which is another thing that I find for Nat, almost fantastical and not realistic. Because if he was willing to do it, he would have been willing to do it in front of her son anyway. But anyway, or he could have closed the door, locked the door, and did it anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but we just gonna, feel like Rodney wasn't that fucked up. Okay. So she goes over to Kim's mama house to see Jody playing dominoes with Sweet Pea. And she got her hair done, new weave, trying to look cute. She sit down next to him, he ignoring her. So eventually she gets up and runs away, all disrupted, knocks the chair over. Where you going, Yvette? Can't stand the way these niggas talk, okay? And she was like, why are you trying to act all hard and stuff like you don't miss me? You don't know what I've been going through these past couple of days. And then she tells him that Rodney tried to grape juice her in front of JoJo and she was by herself. And now he felt bad. And now him and P gonna plan to take him out. But while they're cleaning guns and shit, he said, I can't do it. I'm not a killer. I can't do it. And P said, listen, let's pray about it. And the prayer they prayed basically is, Lord, if you can't show us the way, then forgive us for being lost. Sometimes I feel like you like being lost so you can say you didn't know the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like nobody's lost. You're not lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain things require certain, like, I'm just sorry. Some people some people got to go. There's no arguing. There's no getting them arrested. No, some people got to go. So if you can find a clean way, it's a movie, it's a movie, But at the same time, I just kind of felt like, kind of bitch ass shit is that, Jody Joe? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude tried to grape juice your old lady. Anyway, so he decides they're not going to do it. They go sit on a porch, and Rodney did what Jody does all the time. Takes Yvette's keys and takes a little money out of her wallet, goes to pick his homeboys up, and they roll up on Kim Mama house, and shoots the house up. Now, this scene when Jody seems to be shot and killed, and then we see that he wasn't shot and killed, it reminds me of how we always wished that Ricky didn't die in Boys in the Hood. I can't tell you how many times I have watched Boys in the Hood, like wishing that wouldn't have happened the way it did. So I feel like this is what I love about John Singleton, because I think John Singleton knew that everybody felt like that about Ricky. So that was his way of giving us that moment by letting it be as tragic as it can be, but then saying, you know what? Nope, not this time. Not this time. This time I'm going to give y'all what y'all want, which is for your protagonist to not die being shot up outside somebody's fucking house when you were doing the right thing. Okay? Okay, shit also menace to society. Anyway, um, so now that you didn't shot up, Kim Mama house, we gotta kill a nigga. You rolled up on P house. So they orchestrate a plan. They turn the electricity off. So when Rodney goes outside to check the breaker, Jody rolls up on him and he was like, so I'm supposed to be scared, nigga? And then P comes up behind him and Rodney punches Jody and they run. They start, they give chase. And so eventually he like, bust, nigga, you gotta shoot him. So Jody shoots him and he ends up falling to the ground, but he not dead. And P was like, finish him off, but he couldn't do it. So P finished his ass off. But this again reminds me of the bloopers. You guys, I really wish somebody would put them fucking bloopers somewhere. It might be on YouTube somewhere and I just haven't seen it. But the moment where he's like, bust, and he's running and it switches to your boy from the hair salon. He fell. Like, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, all right. Oh, all right. Shit. And then he get up. He was like, what the fuck is all of this on the ground? What is this? People gonna think I'm in my period. When I tell y'all, we used to watch that shit over and over again because that shit was too fucking funny. Okay? I can never watch the scene seriously anymore after watching the bloopers. But one of the best parts of the movie is Jody his mama's house, running home to her house and into his bedroom. Melvin, who's obviously moved in at this point, comes into his room and Jody is like, once again, like just over dramatization like a motherfucker. But he see Melvin come in there, he got the sweat and the tears rolling down his face, the gun is in his hand, and he cocks the shit on Melvin. When Melvin walked up to him, Melvin said, and he take a towel that was on the chair and he take Jody's hand with the gun in his hand and puts the gun in his hand. I knew somebody would find the bloopers. Put it in the comments. He puts the gun in his hand, like he puts Jody's hand with the gun in his hand with the towel. And he takes his finger off the trigger. Do you know how fearless a motherfucker gotta be to take somebody else's finger off of a trigger after they cocked the gun on them? Melvin didn't know if Jody had actually killed somebody and did the kill shot. He might as well, even though he didn't. But either way, he wipes the gun. Jody, as soon as Jody let the gun go, it was like he felt so much relief. The way Melvin wrapped the gun up and then held it close to his chest as like a figurative for the literal of, I'm going to hold this close to the chest. I'm going to get rid of this. You don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was definitely one of the best parts of the movie. And so Jody goes home to Yvette, gets in the bed with her, and without any words, she realizes what has already happened, and she just comforts him. A little while later, he goes back to his mom's house, and she's sitting in her garden looking a little stressed out, and she asked where he's been staying, and he said he found a place, still driving around in Yvette's car. And she said, "What you need some money, Jody?" "I ain't got no money." Like, "Nah, Mom, God, I'm straight. Shit, do you need some money?" And she was like, "Yeah, 20 years worth," which means she never got no child support, never got no help. Okay. She says Melvin said they had a talk the other night, and he says, yeah, he's glad she got a new boyfriend. And she tells him, because he was like, I'm a rider for mine, once again with the fake, boisterousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a lot of fake boisterous, I'm a rider for mine, mama, for real. Like, boy, shut up. But she just wanted him to stop talking about death. Nobody ain't gonna die no time soon. She was like, do the best while you're here. Hope to God that there's something better after this, and hope Jesus let your ass in on the judgment day. That's what she told him. And she said, up until that day, you better watch your back. And he walks out after he kissed her and say goodbye. And Melvin is outside talking to his homeboy, and they have their mutual respect. Now, what's going on, OG? Oh, nothing much, baby boy. How you doing? Living this California life. All right. Put on some old school. I do love you. Oh, and it's all right. Oh, I do love you. I love you now. And Gonna let you go. Na na na. Pretty little baby. Listen, anyway. So he goes home to Yvette and they lay down and watch TV with their baby playing in the living room. And this is the moment I had a great appreciation for because I feel like a lot of black people were trying to tell stories that were realistic to what a lot of black people in inner cities were going through. But ultimately, black people just want the same shit that white people be wanting, to be laid up with their loved one comfortably in their home, not having a care in the world. That's what people be wanting a lot of the time. And it showed that even though their circumstances are different, they want the same things. So like I feel like essentially that's what the movie was trying to show, but how all of these things get in the way of it. But then, so first of all, shout out to Sweet Pea for getting baptized with Kim and Kim Mama right there. Did y'all see that Preach from All American was his homeboy standing there with him while he was getting baptized? Y'all know we didn't know who Preach was back then, but it's so funny because I was watching. I said, look at Preach. That was too funny. And then we see Yvette is pregnant. They're going to the park and he laying out the little picnic and he didn't put a ring on her finger, so they engaged. And it's giving sweet. It's giving he's manned up. It's giving he's going to do what he's supposed to do. That's what it's giving. But essentially, that can still, turn out at the bus stop pregnant with her other son. While Jody riding around in her motherfucking Toyota, her motherfucking Honda. Okay? But anyway, y'all, that was Baby Boy. It's a great movie. But essentially, I feel like it is one of those movies that has romanticized hood love and toxic relationships. And with that being done, I feel like we now find ourselves in a social media age with those relationships being acted out all over the place. And I don't know if it's doing the good it's supposed to be doing because the people don't have the education or the context for what they're looking at. When John Singleton and everybody came together to do Baby Boy, I feel like they were trying to say something to where we were going and what the situations were and romanticize it for sure. That's where the issue comes in. But ultimately, I feel like they were still trying to point out all of the young black men that are out here doing nothing with their lives. So now we fast forward and I feel like the movie is more prevalent now than it was then. It's crazy. It's crazy. Over romanticized, absolutely, like a war movie from the fucking 50s. But anyway, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this installment of Now That We're Grown. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out my website. If they flag this video, it will be available on the website. All of the videos are always available on the website, y'all, the lives, because they do flag them. So if you're looking for the Love and Hip Hop Black Ink Crew Chicago one, that's on the website because they've had that flagged all day and they have not fixed it, so it remains private. My BondyBlue show that I did, I cut that up for you guys and put that in smaller, like 20-minute or so videos, so you guys can check that out as well. And don't forget the Ooh Ladies first panel was last night on Jamie That's Me's channel. I feel like we had a really, really great show. Okay. So you guys make sure that you check that out on Jamie That's Me's channel. I'm not going to tell y'all which one I'm doing next. Just come through when I do it. Okay. Love y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.